All right, so welcome back to What's Dee Dee Doing? We're having Fit at 50 conversations with Shonia E. Now, I know I didn't say that right. Shonia E.
Yeah, there you go. Shine your lifetime.
I've been practicing that all day, girl.
That's okay. I'm used to it. I was ready to do my little spiel about it.
I love it. I love it. And I think I've known you for a little over 5 years, maybe even longer.
Yeah. I met you. I relocated to Southern Ohio 10 years ago, and probably about halfway through the journey, I met you.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you. I want to say thank you. I know I was sharing before the camera start rolling that I wanted to tap into women who have inspired me through this journey.
Okay.
Right? And one that I know will encourage and inspire, and you all have done that. So,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
you're welcome. So, what is Fit and 50 all about? Fit and 50 with Dee all about? It is spiritual, it's mind and body. And so, I wanted to take this journey with women 50 plus, and just not all 50, 55, to encourage them to keep moving, right? Because as we mature as women, our lives change, our bodies change, our purpose changes, right? And I thought, who better to talk about that on this journey with me than Sean?
Well, thank you. I feel honored. Thank you for having me. Number one, I'm so proud of you because you stepped out on faith to do something that's different, unique, but you're also pouring back
That's what I'm
into to your circle. You said we're feeding you, but you're pouring back into us as well.
I love that. We'll give you a hug over here.
Era.
I want to just read your bio.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it right from my phone because I want to make sure I don't miss anything
That's
because you
okay.
are truly dynamic.
Well, thank you.
All right. So we're raising the bar even higher than yesterday, and that's a high bar. We had Shawan yesterday.
Oh, yes.
It's wonderful. And you are a phenomenal guest, someone who truly embodies resilience, purpose, and inspiration. I've said that before. You inspire me. You're a healthcare VP, a fitness influencer, a powerhouse speaker, and the founder, and I say the founder, of I Am Destined for Greatness.
Correct.
That is wonderful. Just that name just gives me goosebumps. You may know her as the bounce back coach.
Yes.
Yeah. Or the purpose pusher.
Yes.
But today, you'll get to hear from your heart beyond those titles. So I want you to really share who you are. I want to know who Shonia is.
Okay. Well, I fit your theme. I'm 54, so I love the theme, and I feel like 50 was pivotal for me when I turned 50. So I made some commitments and promises to myself. So that's why I was so connected when I saw you starting this journey because it's needed. And there was a time where I felt that I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and I always have not felt that way. As you listed in my bio, I have a lot of titles. And sometimes I don't share those titles on social media because I don't lead with them. A lot of times, the Nana title,
Yes.
I lead,
Yes, thank
mom,
God. Yes.
Nana, daughter, those first and foremost.
Yes.
As a VP in healthcare, I'm a VP of marketing and communications. So that's why I'm always impressed with things like this because this is part of my career, what I do every day. I've been in the healthcare industry for 35 years.
Wow.
And I can honestly say I've started from the bottom. Now I'm here. It's one of those situations.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot, grown a lot over the years. And then it led to D4G. And so the bounce back coach, purpose pusher. And I know you're going to get into all that in your questions, but those titles, I had to really go through some fire for those titles. So I can't wait to get into your questions.
I like fire. I think that is wonderful. And what I heard you say, and I'm so glad I did hear you say things like Nana. I do see your pictures with your rings.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. I too am a gammy. So I love it, Nana.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I love that. So I think that type of introduction is important as well. So that you can connect with the audience at that level too, right?
Yes.
Because our roles do change.
They change. And we're trying to balance it all.
Right.
Externally,
Yes.
internally.
internally. And that's why I'm on this journey now. So I can figure out what that feels like and looks like after retirement, right? After all the corporate. And I love that because I learned so many valuable lessons there in that world, right?
Yeah.
I learned about who I am and what I wanted to be, right? But I realized those were titles, right? At that point, who is Deidre? And I wanted to find out what that's like. And so I wanted to tap into those kind of questions and energy and what led you to where you are today and how you got there. And you're right, we have several questions to get to.
Right. I'm ready.
All right, so let's get to the first one. How about that? I'll pull out my phone here because I want to make sure I'm accurate. So you do wear many hats, and we told what those different titles were. What experiences shaped the woman you are today?
Well, there's so many, but one season in particularly was starting just from childhood. I do share this when I do speak at many engagements that and we all say we come from dysfunctional families, but I really did. I grew up in a dysfunctional family where my father was just a heavy alcoholic, just big time, and that came with a lot of emotional, mental abuse, things like that. That it helped shape me because there was times that I started daydreaming and thinking big as a little girl because that was my escape.
Yeah.
So as I became into my teenage years, and we all make mistakes, things like that. But when it came to the point where, how is this all going to happen? I started to see visions of my purpose, but I could not see how I was going to get there.
Amen.
Especially I was born and raised in a small town, so it's gonna happen here. How is it going to connect? Never saw myself relocating, and I know it's only about 3.5 hour drive, but it still was a big pivotal move in my life. So I want to say that thinking big and believing that I could try things outside of the box or that I've never done in my family started at a young age.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get labeled in a family too when you start thinking a little differently than everyone else.
Absolutely.
So you're labeled as, I think she thinks she's better than, and so you have that decision to make. Am I going to continue on to try to tap into what I believe God deposited in me, or do I just kind of fall in with the crowd type thing? And so I just made up my mind at a young age. This is what I want to do. I took some losses. I made some great choices to overcome some early bad choices, but that's what shapes us.
Oh, it does.
To go back to your question, and I don't know if I would change any of it, because it has every season, every test, every trial has led me to where I'm at. And I am so shocked every time I have an event, I speak, or anytime I get to share my testimony and my journey, the people that are touched and impacted, I know I didn't go through things just for me.
That's right. That's right. God talks about the refiner's fire in the word, right? But he also says every step of a righteous man is ordered.
Yes.
Right? So when you put destined for greatness, that's a wonderful title. So I wanted to first and foremost thank you for being transparent and then share with our audience how you overcame those things to become the great woman you are today. And so, you started the conversation. I'm so proud of you. You all inspire me to be this, right? We have very similar backgrounds.
Okay.
Right? And I think that that's important that we show women that where you started is not where you are going to end up or where you're going to go for that.
Exactly.
Right? We say 55 and that we're nowhere near the ending.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a lot.
We're just getting started.
I'm right. Let's find it out. So I love that. I love that. And I love that you are so transparent and you share that kind of information with our audience. And I know that you're going to inspire not just me, but others who are watching us.
And sometimes people see our smiles or they see where you're at now today, and they need to hear that this didn't happen overnight. And there a lot came with it. The smile, it cost me.
It did.
There was a price.
There's a price.
It's a price.
It's a big one. Yeah. And so we have to understand that that's what it is, right? And we have to understand there's going to be challenges, but we can overcome those things. You said something very important too that I wanted to kind of tap into, and one of those were there's a price for wanting to overcome challenges in a family, right?
Yes.
Right. Hearing those words, she thinks she's better, or she thinks that she
bougie.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that one for decades.
Right. Bougie. There used to be a word that people used to, this is an old word, but it's high fidelity, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard words like that in the beginning. And, you want to do better and you want to inspire. And I think that that's what our lives have been for others. They may not see it that way.
Exactly.
But that's what it looks like, that we are over.
Exactly. And it's a trend now to be bougie.
It is.
We were talking about it back in the day, but now it's an in thing. So I was like, okay, catch up with it. Yes. So I just, I think back over the years, and when I think about even as I was communicating with you and preparing for it today, and I'm at a point now. I said I'm not holding back. That's the thing. I don't want to hold back because I could miss that one person. That little nugget.
Yes.
So yeah, it's and then when I think about just a little bit that I share about my childhood and those things that I learned how to persevere, overcome when you're dealing with someone that's dealing with alcoholism, that may have anger issues, things like that. It allowed me to learn how to even navigate in corporate America. So many circles. It prepared me for so many other seasons of my life. So at the time it was woe is me, but now I can see so much to where it's the pieces come together.
It's preparation. You said it, prepared you.
Yeah.
This is all preparation for the journey, right?
Yes.
He said in our weakness, he is strong.
Absolutely.
Right? And he's going to use all of that, right? So, thank you so much. And I know we have a lot of ground to cover.
Yes,
I can get stuck right there.
Yeah.
I can get stuck right there. All right.
You're talking to a marketing person. I'll go and talk.
So you brand yourself as both the bounce back coach and the purpose pusher. What do those titles mean to you in practice?
Okay, well, first of all, when I felt that I received the title, the bounce back coach, it sounded very cool, very trendy. And then I thought, oh, shoot, that means I'm going to bounce back from something.
Yeah.
And the same thing with I am destined for greatness. When you look at the definition of those words, because it's really D4G, I am destined for greatness. But I always use D4G or shorten it up just for the sake of, but the official business name and ministry name is D4G, I am destined for greatness. All of those words are so powerful and they carry so much weight. Once I started looking those words up, I wanted to put the name back in the basket. So, God, can I choose another one? Because this is going to be a tough one. Because I am in itself are two of some of the powerful words in our English language. So whatever you put behind it becomes your personal declaration. And so when you think about it that way, destined for greatness, looking up each of those words, talking about your destiny, destiny and purpose, they go hand in hand. And so the purpose pusher came, as D4G was evolving in the early years, just people, booking me for different events, speaking engagements. And so it just evolved. I started pushing people to purpose. And then there we go, a hashtag. And then there you go, part of the t-shirt line and things of that nature. So that's just been flowing the entire 10 years of D4G. But those titles, they came with some tests as well. But the bounce back coach, I was downsized out of corporate America.
Okay.
I learned a lot. That's what led me to my relocation. And the downsize is, if anybody knows anything about corporate America, so look right at the camera. You can have a whole new executive team come in, and I've been a part of that where I've gone places and I brought my team. I brought my team. It happens, and so during that process, it was around the same time that I launched D4G. So D4G was supposed to be self-funded by me. And then within 45 days of the launch party or launch event to launch D4G, I don't have a job. It's a severance package, but no job. So I just continued on. And so I think all of that helped form the bounce back coach because I bounced back from the relocation, being downsized, later on bounced back from a divorce. I was married for 21 years, so a lot of people don't know that. By the time I connected with so many people on social media, that was beyond me or behind me, and I never publicized that in the fact of where it was a negative thing until I was ready to create programs to help other women bounce back from that. So now I can coach women on bouncing back from menopausal seasons, divorce, relocation, career changes, and it just expanded from there.
I love it. I do. I love it. And I know that our audience is really going to benefit a lot from this.
I hope so.
Already, just the time that we've spoken, we only talked about 2 questions already, but I've learned so much, and you've given us nuggets just during our conversation thus far. So I don't know why I'm pleased. So for many women who are 50 and beyond, what does bounce back actually look like in real life?
Well, one of my big things I'm on right now, and I'm not saying I'm the most fit individual, but when we enter into the season of menopause, whether it's pre-menopausal stages or the actual menopause portion of our lives, we are bouncing back from that as well. Because sometimes bounce back to me isn't even always something bad happened, but it could be I'm propelling as well.
Yes.
I'm moving forward. I'm leveling up. I'm getting promotions. But I think that's where, to me, bouncing back from who I didn't believe I was.
Oh, okay.
That could be something for a woman, or bouncing back from self-sabotage. It can mean so many different things for the individual, depending on who it is. And I know it's been for me, and people pleasing. And I'm naming big ones that were big for me. So it can mean a lot of different things at this age, because in reality, when you hit 50, most of us, if you live to 100, you still, say you live to 100 or 90, you still have more years behind you than you have in front of you. So my theme was now or never when I turn 50. And so I'm going to try it. I want to do it. So I think that's big for me.
I love that. And I hear that. And so when I look at 50 and I hear that, we do recognize that, yes, we do have more years behind us than our head. There were a few things that you said that kind of resonated with me. And one was that actual people pleasing, right? And at 50, you realize, why? Why am I doing that? Who am I?
You should be. And most of us are. And me personally, I'm not saying I don't care what people think about how they feel about me, but I know my purpose. I'm walking in it. And so, excuse me. So that's important to me, where a lot of that's going away.
Yeah.
So in your 30s and your 40s, where and not saying you're comparing yourself, but you're really hard with yourself too.
Wow.
And I'm not saying I don't push myself anymore, but I'm okay.
It's a different push.
It's a different push, and I'm okay, and I know who I am.
Yes, that's comprehensive. And knowing that no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Right. So when we try to people please, we try to be things for everyone. Right? Exactly. That whole superwoman cake.
Exactly.
Right. I can do everything.
Exactly.
Right. I can be that mother. I can be that corporate HR leader. I can be everything for everyone. That daughter. I can be that social person. I can be involved in everything. And I read most recently, I can't be at every table. Right. Nor do I want to be.
There you go.
right?
Or do you need to be?
No. And I think that I thought that I needed to be, right, to develop who I was. And what I realized is that I was really exhausted in that space, right? And here I am now at 55. I realized it at 52, but at 55, understanding and realizing what that looks like and where I want to be. And the people pleasing, it becomes easier, less of what others want, right? But what you can give them, the values that you can provide versus just, giving just because you can.
Exactly.
So, and you spread yourself super thin when you're doing that, right?
Your cup is empty.
It is. And
nothing else.
You can't pour anything else in. Okay. So, could you share a personal bounce back moment from your own journey and the tools you learned to rise again?
I'm going to use the divorce one. When you're in your 40s, you've been married 21 years with the same person 22 years. That's about almost half your life.
Grow up with that person?
We blossom together. And so when you think about it from that perspective, everything, your traditions, your holidays, everything is intertwined. So you have to start rewriting some traditions and recreating things. So that's a significant bounce back because wedding anniversary dates, your body almost knows it's that day. So now you have to recreate days on certain days. Of course, you go through healing. So I highly recommend a healing process, which, we're not going to get all into that today, but I'm not a proponent of people just jumping around because I feel that no matter what happens, and I'm using divorce as any relationship, you still need time to reset. You do. So I feel I was already real big at my workout routines, but I think I became more engaged, more intentional. It really helped me out during that time. And of course, there's so many other benefits that come with it. You start liking how you look, but it was more starting because I'm in a new city. I was in a new city, building relationships, trying to fill my calendar and schedule. And Lifetime Fitness at the time was a great place to network and socialize.
Okay.
And so if you're anybody that's bouncing back from relocation, there's certain places that you immediately connect with to start to build, connections. Some people don't even realize I'm not from this area because I built so many relationships in a short period of time. But I just say, God, I need a hairdresser or a hairstylist, a gym, a church. And those are the main things right off the bat. But for sure, the workout really helped me. So I just took that and ran with it. Fitness. I do the Get It Together challenge every October.
Yes.
Of every year. I've done core challenges, walking challenges every June, just a variety of different things. But choosing to move is really the message.
That's it. We're moving.
And I'm sure you probably have that somewhere in your questions, but when you choose to move, it's so important. And then when you work, and I want to just share that I'm in healthcare, but I am a VP of Marketing Communications for senior communities. So that's anywhere, any level of care from skilled nursing, which is your nursing home setting, assisted living, and independent living, as well as home health and housing. So I see a lot. I've seen a lot. And that's what leads people very quickly at the movement.
Yeah.
So choosing to move now so you can move later. Yes.
And that's been my message. So that has been most recently moved. Even today, as I think through what does that look like, and even in my journey, right? I'm just now really getting into that fitness journey, heart health, right? Brain health, right? But movement. I read somewhere that your muscles are very important. As you get older, you start losing muscle mass. You do, and so I want to make sure that I continue to move, right? And I encourage others to do so. That's part of my message. So thank you for diving into that.
Yes. And, the older we get, the strength training is even more important.
Yes, I've seen a lot of that.
Yes.
So Shonia, many women at midlife are reevaluating career, such as myself, health and relationships. How do you help women uncover purpose in this season of their lives?
Well, it's interesting. A lot of women are in the season that we're in, and they're asking the question still. And I'm going to be very honest. I don't think I realized my full purpose until I was in my 40s. So I don't make people feel shameful that they don't know. But I always use a test statement that includes when you pretty much know you tapped into your purpose. It's you'll start to feel there, especially if it's your job. If your job and your career and your purpose start to align, I always share, that's the season I'm in where I feel like they used to run parallel and now they've collided.
Oh,
And that doesn't happen for everyone.
yeah.
But you start to ask the question, I'm getting paid for this?
Oh,
They're paying me for this? Because it seems so natural.
yeah.
Because it is a passion. And some people feel just because they're an entrepreneur, that's their purpose. It's because they have a job, that's their purpose.
Yeah.
You can get paid for that, but your purpose is what you're called to do.
Yeah. Called
To do.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's the big difference. And so getting people to connect through those items, if they actually coach with me personally, we do work through a life mapping.
I love that. Do you?
You know what I mean?
Okay.
They have the option to keep it confidential or share it. Almost every person I've coached chose to share it as the coaching because the journey will almost unfold before you. And it's a very simple process, but it will start directing and pointing you to, just because you can cook good doesn't mean that's your purpose.
That's right. It's just something you enjoy.
It's just something you enjoy to do. So those are some key things of just really uncovering some of those items and what feels so natural for you.
Okay.
To start off with.
All right. So that's such a good takeaway. Easy steps that we can start with. I think that's
exactly to at least start off with. Yes.
All right. So for those listening who are ready to make the changes, what are some practical first steps women can take today to begin living more intentionally?
I think for the most part, assessing your calendar, your daily calendar, start there. I am real good now at, I'm still flexible. Sit next to the camera, but I have boundaries even with my flexibility. But assessing my schedule and making sure that I have time on my schedule for me. There's certain hours of the day where my phone's on do not disturb.
Oh, wonderful.
My workouts are definitely on do not disturb, and I protect them.
I love that.
So when people try to say, can you do this? And they offer time slots, I'm real, I think I can do it on that day, that time slot, because I'm boxing that day. Or that's how I stay committed to that. But really starting with what are you filling your calendar with?
I love that. In the corporate world, I kind of don't really feel like I had control of my calendar. Mm-hmm. And what I recognized when I retired is I have now filled the time that I was using in my corporate role. It's my personal role. And it still feels like it's the same pace. So I'm learning now to build boundaries.
Yeah.
To establish them. Yes. Right. Because I'm just I went from one environment where my calendar was kind of controlled to me controlling my calendar, but it's at the same pace. So I really haven't established any boundaries.
Okay. So you're still kind of hustle grind.
I am. And I gotta come out of that.
Yeah. And choosing my words has changed where there was a season where boss chicks, boss babes. I don't want to be called any of that.
That boss title.
Because and I do that for a living, but those are heavy titles. Those titles will place you in a hustle and grind mode.
It will.
Just anything. You have to be careful with your words. I try not to use busy. but my schedule is full.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
My schedule's full. I could take a look because busy almost brings anxiety to people.
It does.
And then everybody says they're busy, busy, busy. But my schedule's full. My calendar's full. And then doing away with using the word stress.
Oh. Yeah, there's power in our.
Because once you say it, now you bring it in the atmosphere. And so I try to say things like my job, my career is intense.
Sure.
I had an intense day.
I like intense. Yeah.
And I'm working through it. But it was an intense day. But I made it here. I'm here with Dee Dee. It was the traffic here. About 35, 40-minute drive. But it was intense, but I made it.
And I'm so glad you did.
But what if I would have said stressed? Then I would have came in here and threw the whole atmosphere off in here.
Yeah. And you didn't. You brought all that wonderful, positive energy in here. And I love that. I do. I love that. And I like the word choices of full.
Yeah.
Establishing boundaries, creating that calendar, your calendar, right?
Your calendar.
Protecting your time.
Yes.
And getting it back and putting do not disturb. I got to use that whole lick on. Right.
Once you master it, oh my goodness, everybody's going to be mad. Your adult children, everybody's going to be mad. Because I just learned I was pouring out so much because I am a pillar in my family.
Yes.
And I was just depleted at times. And so I'm no help. I'm not help to anyone if I'm empty.
Yeah. So, I was using it as a badge of honor, though.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And when you do that,
yes,
right, you can handle everything. And to the point where you're at one point, we're like, okay, I'm empty.
Yeah.
I can no longer.
I'm just running. I'm doing nothing. And we think that's cute, but it's not.
What's important?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I am the oldest granddaughter.
Okay.
The oldest daughter. Oldest niece, all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you put that in, I think that fed into where I ended up in my career. And in being a leader, I took on those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Deidre has the answers. She knows where to go. And when I got to the point where I was like, well, I don't want to do that.
Right. I don't want to be the solution to everything.
It was a solution. And I'm that person. I'm a fixer.
Yeah.
And we become that, right? And I still do that to some extent now. Mm-hmm. But I took pride in being a fixer.
Absolutely.
That person. So, yeah.
A troubleshooter by trade. That's what I say.
I love it.
It's a pro. It could be a good thing, and sometimes it could be a thing that can really get you hung up.
Well, I loved it. It felt powerful until it wasn't.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So good. So you often highlight movement and fitness, and we've talked about that some. Why is consistent movement? And we'll talk about the pillars I discussed: spirit, mind, and body. Being so important for women, 50 and beyond.
Well, the spiritual part, if you follow me, you know me, I do not hide the fact that I'm a believer, number one. And so I lead with that so much in everything that I do, because I do want to have victory and help others have victory in every area of life, and in order to do that. But it's very important now because it gives us that straight, narrow balance, because that's the core, really. You're keeping the main thing. And when you keep that on the center, I just feel like everything else flows, that you don't, I'm not saying you don't have to worry about what you make and your salary, but when you keep God first, as the scripture says, those other things, they do work themselves out.
They always do.
They do work themselves out, but the choosing them to move, as I mentioned, being in healthcare, you see what it does.
Yeah.
When I hear about one of our residents or a patient that has turned 102, 104,
yes,
I always want to try to go meet them if I can. And they never say or mention their boat or their big house or their convertible. They always share how important it is to move. Keep it moving. Some of them even encourage, keep the steps as long as you can.
Yeah.
In your home. So they say, I want a ranch down.
Just keep the stairs.
Keep the stairs, because it's going to keep you moving. And then they'll always say experiences. Create experiences.
Yeah.
So now I do that. I try to do things I've never done, visit places I've never had a chance to visit before. That's big for me. If I go to a city, I want to visit a place that eat at a place that I have not tried before. So those are important to me. I feel the movement I learned from the industry.
Yeah. I love that. And again, that's what this is all about, movement. I think that's important. So
mind, moving your mind, moving your body, and then keeping those things until to your last day.
Yeah.
You're a lifelong learner.
Yes.
So you talk about brain out.
Yes.
So
you gotta get them. You gotta keep that, right?
Absolutely.
You gotta keep that. Because I think that a memorization, right? Reading is very important.
Yeah.
And reading my word is probably the most favorite thing to do. Right.
Yes.
And that's kind of what's motivating me and getting me in this journey. So thank you for including that, as always, putting down first. Okay. So you juggle a lot of responsibilities. How do you personally balance career, family, and wellness? And are there routines or anchors that help keep you grounded?
Yeah. I'm not proud of this, but I carry 3 phones.
Oh, no.
I manage 2 main email accounts.
Okay.
I have certain hours that I manage. At least 1 or 2 of them. I have a main phone, I have a private phone that if you have that number, you're in there. And so managing that helps me a lot. D4G has its own number.
Got it.
So that way, if it's closed on Sunday when I'm in church, that it's closed and that phone does not get answered or responded to. And I talk about that in the message that's on the phone. That's very important to me. I spent time with my oldest grandson a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I let everybody know I'm going to be off these days. Sometimes I take vacations. I don't unplug, but there's times I do. And I communicate that. Communicating, I'm unplugging because I want to be intentional of getting to know my 13-year-old grandson a little bit better and what's going on with him. So I think just being and that sounds like a lot. It's not that I'm just staring at phones all day.
Sure.
It's just how I manage.
Yeah. Very purposeful.
It's exactly.
I loved watching you and your grandson. I think I saw you guys playing basketball or something. I thought that was so cute. That is wonderful.
And to me, they keep me youthful because I do want to run and jump and do those things that I can with them as long as I can. So
I get it. My granddaughter, I can get on the floor with her and we can play, we can run.
Yes.
I want to be able to do that with it.
Absolutely.
She's still young, but I want to make sure that I'm able to do just those things.
Absolutely. And I do want to add this because when you talk about balance, say, work-life balance, is that such a thing? So people challenge that. But I do try to do something at least once a quarter.
So we say something, what do you mean?
I'm glad you asked.
Tell me.
I do try to take some type of trip, even if it's a road trip. And some people may say, I really don't have funds for that. But there are things that I've done over the years to make sure I'm able to do that.
Yes.
I meal plan. I do some things. I mean, you all saw, if you followed me, look right in the camera for this one. I did a no spending and shop my own closet for a whole year.
Oh, I love that. Shop my own closet.
And just organizing it, I basically vlogged it where people could follow. And once I organized my jewelry box in my closets, I can see what I had. And you're shopping as if you had new things in it.
It's exciting.
So then I was able to save more, and you could do more, and then you could take on those little respite times. And I usually book them around like the Labor Day. I'm always going to add a day here, add a day there, Memorial Day, add a day here. And that's your time that I feel that I've been doing that probably at least 10 years.
I love that.
That has really helped me change my life. Yes.
I love it. I too love it. All right. Well, so tell us the story behind I Am Destined for Greatness, D4G. What inspired you to create it, and how has it impacted the women that you serve?
Okay. I'm gonna sit up a little bit for this one because this one was hard because I was a little hard-headed. Okay. I was a little I wouldn't say disobedient, but it was delayed. I sat on the vision for 7 years before I launched it.
Okay.
So So that means it was nudging. When you're sitting on something and it's nudging you. And so when I made the decision in 2015, as I mentioned, I received half of the name at first, and I was playing around with different variations of it. But by the time I worked with my main graphic designer, we started coming up with the logo and whatnot. And I had the program, I had bounce back program, all of that before I even knew what it was. So I put it on a poster board for the launch party. I was like, okay, I don't know what it's going to be about. I'm going to roll with it. And I feel like God just filled in the blanks as we went.
He did all that.
Yeah, right. Bounce back from what? I don't know. Okay. So looks good on the poster. So, and then I just pretty much filled it in and waited for the download. Yeah. That's key. I waited for it. And that was faith in itself, because sometimes we think we have to wait for the whole plan before we move. Mm-hmm. And he let me know there would be phases. Yeah. Just like, that's just the beginning. I'm fit at 50 with Dee Dee. It's just the beginning. And so that in itself was taking that first step into the water. And then he just was getting to it.
I love it. So how has it impacted the women you serve?
I feel I'm always amazed. I'm honored and humbled. And even as we celebrated 10 years, and you and I talked a little bit about that before we started this evening, I was blown away at just the response for the 10-year celebration. And it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
And it took a lot out of me, because I thought, man, I retired from the event portion of D4G. Man, I'm going back into retirement. It's a lot of work. But it was great. People came from all over, even people that could not come. The messages, everything. But people are being impacted to know, and she wouldn't mind me saying this because she wrote about it in one of my magazines, but my high school track coach went through a divorce and was inspired by my bounce back story. But I talk about her everywhere I go, because she's inspired me my whole life. And look at that, how that slipped. Yeah. So she's a great example. And I was very shocked that my second biggest target audience is the millennials. And that was not my plan. But I became a millennial magnet through the process.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
So my about 45 to 60 is my primary age group. Okay. Because that's pretty much mine. So go a little bit under my current age, and a little bit above. But I was really shocked that the millennials, I have a huge following. The mentorship program that I did in 2018 and 19, they were all millennials. It's very interesting.
Yes, that's wonderful. So, but all of us need it, right? Regardless of the age.
And they're brave. So I learn a lot, and they don't realize they're teaching me.
Yeah, because they're fearless.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing that they can do, right? And I think that's because the generations ahead of them have prepared them to that, right? We've come from that, and we can show them that everything is possible. And so there's no fear. Exactly. I love that. I love watching that.
So I actually have, because business development is one of my specialties, career and with D4G. So I've assisted quite a few, probably hundreds of individuals start businesses and help them with their strategic plans for their business.
I love that. I do. I think that is so important. And for your anniversary, I noticed that you had one of someone I kind of grew up with. She's a little younger than me, Nadia. Howard Brown.
Yes.
I've known since she was
I didn't realize we had a mutual connection.
Oh, yeah.
You Biggie, but I said, look at there. And I just met her 4 years ago.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yes.
She's so smart, so bright.
Yeah.
And fearless as well. Mm-hmm. Right. Has a great story. So I'm going to get you on there too, Not. We talked about that already.
Yes, no.
That's right. And I know she won't mind me just sharing about that. So I love that. So community is such a powerful force. Mm-hmm. How do sisterhood, we just had this word.
Yes.
Mentorship and accountability help women truly thrive?
I think all three of them are separate divisions by themselves.
Okay.
true sisterhood is neat.
Yes.
I'm a person that I have long-term friendships in my life, decades and decades. And I do believe you be the sister, you be the friend that you need and desire in your life. Don't expect it if you're not willing to sow and pour into others as well. And we'll talk about that being accountable here in a second. And I think that piece is just very, very important.
Yes.
To be able to have that relationships, accountability. We all could become loose cannons and just go out here loose. And we need people to let us know, cheer us on.
Absolutely.
But we also need people to hold us accountable.
That's right.
I saw some of your content. You were going a little bit below the line.
Oh.
The last 2 weeks you're talking about haters. What's going on?
I'll ask that question. That's so.
Things like that.
Okay.
I noticed you just been, and that we call that below the line.
Yeah.
And when you go below the line, you're supposed to go and come back up real fast like a roller coaster ride. But when you're just down there, your heart posture has changed.
Yeah. Oh.
Something's going on within you, because everything you post should not be circulating around haters and people that don't like you. And one time you're going to have that, because that might have been something you had to overcome, but it should not be your common theme.
Sure.
Because now you're getting you're gonna get people, yes, amen. And because because now you basically had the opportunity to drag others, come on, wow. Now we're all off track.
That's right.
So being accountable, having people that could chin check you a little bit, and you not take it personally.
Right. We need those.
But also people to say, I thought you said you were gonna write that book this year.
Oh, I love that piece.
I need those people. Where they at?
I need them too. So, Shawan has been that for me. Hey, what are we doing here? Right?
Yeah.
In certain situations, like Shawan, I've probably known her about the same amount of time. I think I met you at her favorite things. And I think that's what really truly got connected. But it's so important to have those individuals and say, what's going on with that? And, where are you at with that piece? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Right? If I fall off a little bit, they're like, we haven't seen.
Exactly.
Where's that power coming from? Because it's whether we know it or not, it helps others believe.
And it's okay to put a timestamp on it to say, okay, Dee Dee, I'm going to check back with you. Wow. How about we check back to dinner and lunch in about 2 months? You can tell me how that's
working out.
Yeah, that's how it's working out for you. Okay. And then that way, that's true accountability.
So I heard you say book. Is there a book?
I've literally had people prophesy that over my life, even the actual number of books.
Yeah.
I think that is something I get to be held accountable for. I've started a book. I did a spinoff of the first 2 chapters in my last magazine when I turned 50. So the first 2 chapters of my book is included in that edition.
Okay.
And that was from overdraft to overflow.
Ooh.
And it isn't all about money. It isn't about a bank account, but it has the same concept. When you pour it out and overdraft it, your account, and not even trying to play catch up in life or any area of life in your life where you allow things to pour out more than you have to give. So that's the first 2 chapters. And
so we're going to get into all the opportunities that people can connect with you on.
Yeah.
As we kind of get here, so I'm excited to get there.
All right.
Yeah. I have a few more questions for you, but okay. I'm excited for you to share how people can connect and what you all what you can provide to everyone. So
okay.
I'm excited about that. So if you could leave women with just one bounce back principle to hold on to, what would it be?
1. Wow. You got me with 1.
Well, if you have more,
I'm going to say always self-assess.
Yeah.
Because the bounce back, if you think you're right all the time or you think it was everyone else's fault, your bounce back isn't true, and it may not be a real true bounce back. I think you always have to self-assess. Even if it's someone 100%, they came to you and said it's 100% my fault. But self-assess, what could I have done differently? What did I learn from it? How can I take what I learned to move forward? I think self-assessment is always going to be essential to a successful life.
I love that. I do. I love, we talk about self-awareness, but self-assessment, I love that even more.
To be honest.
Yeah. Yes.
Honest.
Yeah.
I probably need to not critique people so much, or I probably need to stop procrastinating. Was I a good friend? Was I a good employee or employer? What could I do differently? Am I a good daughter? Just self-assess.
Yeah, I love that. And to maintain your self-esteem in doing that, though, right?
Yeah.
Not taking it so it's like, oh, I was terrible at that.
Yes.
Making sure that you maintain your self-esteem.
Yes.
Assessment.
Yeah, in a very healthy way where
That's
you're
what's
not beating yourself up, tearing yourself to the point where now you're depressed because now you've internalized that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the clarification on that.
Absolutely, I'm glad you did. Yeah, because now we're below the line with that person. So,
like below the line, so who's next? And finally, what's next for you?
So, I'm wanting to move to the next phase of D4G with sober living, housing and programming for individuals. And I believe that's very critical to my next steps right now.
I love that. And so I know there's probably a vision right now, but my question, will it be closer to where you are from, or will you kind of spread out? Yeah.
When I went home to my hometown to do the 10-4G anniversary, it was something that people thought, why are you doing that? Why are you going back? And, pouring, it's a lot to host an event in another city. And I've done it before, but when I went through the whole process of planning, that's when I really got the revelation. And then I went to a conference last weekend and I received the confirmation.
Okay.
So, yeah, stay tuned.
Okay, well, I'm not going to push you further, but I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you.
Yes.
So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us, your heart and your journey with us today. I love it. I love the transparency. I love the story. I love the bounce back. I love all of that, right? That's so inspiring in so many different ways. You just don't know, because I think a lot of folks will take that and internalize it and stay stuck.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, right? I could have used everything that I talked about today as an excuse.
You could have. And we see so many people who do. Mm-hmm. But I believe that this conversation has been freeing and giving people permission not to stay stuck.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, we've had things in our lives, but they're there for a reason. We talked about using that as preparation, and I love that.
Yes.
That is something that's very important. So your story and your principles are a blessing to me and to every woman I'm sure who's going to be watching this. Yes, praise God.
Praise God.
I'm honored to have you had this conversation with you, but also to call you friend.
Yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's just been a true pleasure to know you. I'm so proud. I said at the beginning, but I'm so proud because, and I'm going to be a person to make sure you keep pushing and don't give up.
All right.
Because
I'm going to need that accountability.
I was going to say, the launch is always easy, but to keep pressing.
It's that momentum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm glad you said yes.
Yes.
Right? Because I know that you could have said my schedule is, but you gave me that. So I appreciate that. So before we wrap up, can you let our listeners know how they can connect with you, whether that's through social media, your coaching platform, or D4G, Destined for Greatness?
Absolutely. I'm going to give them all of it. The website is D4G for Life, and that's D4GFOR life.com. And there's actually a contact section right there on the website. It tells a little bit about the organization as well as a little bit about myself and my journey, so you can get connected to what it has led me to D4G and even where I'm at today. On Facebook, I have a private page, Shonia E. I also have a private group, D4G, Visionaries and Entrepreneurs, and that's all entrepreneurs and visionaries from all across the country. So that's a private group just for that particular group. And then I have the D4G I Am Destined for Greatness business page on Facebook. You can connect with me there. On Instagram, I am the Bounce Back Coach. So there we go.
I love it. I love it. So to all our listeners, I hope today's conversation has been encouraging, because it's encouraged me. It has really inspired me to move forward. Just kind of hearing, the story and how you actually shared that, your successes out of that, to me has been an eye-opener, and has given me permission just to keep moving forward, right? And
Yes.
movement has been that. So I just, again, wanted to thank you for your time today.
Absolutely.
And stay tuned to watch What's Dee Dee Doing, Getting Fit at 50. And now we're having Fit at 50 conversations with some of these wonderful guests. And Shonia, you have been wonderful.
It's been a pleasure
Thank you.
to sit with you.